I hear what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. Like, my ego gets in the way.
That's not how an emotionally intelligent or mature person handles conflict.
Have to be honest, like, even if it sucks, even if it comes out wrong.
Being honest about what your needs are after an argument helps you heal. Good morning. Haha.
I was gonna say
thunder.
good morning. That's what I was gonna say.
Why are you trying to wake them up like that? You used your I'm going in there and waking you up sweetly voice.
Oh, because I want them to feel love.
That voice is reserved.
For you.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Good morning.
Get up.
How are you? Get out of bed.
Oh, welcome back to another episode of Outer Place with Megan and Sherell. I'm Sherell.
And I'm Megan. If you don't know us, we are wives. We play music together. We make funny videos. And
we raise two dogs together.
Yes.
They're outside wreaking havoc on the neighborhood.
They're enclosed. They're not running around the neighborhood. Did you see
Liko almost attacked a guy who had the Amazon package?
Well, he jumped on the fence, but that's about it. What are you drinking, baby?
Ooh, I actually started drinking this tea called Lady Grey.
Sounds like somebody that would be in what is it?
Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey. I combine words sometimes.
Lady Grey. Wait, wasn't there like a period piece show where somebody's last name was Grey?
Probably. I can imagine.
Wait, was it 50 Shades of Grey?
No. There's Meredith Grey from Grey's Anatomy.
Well, yeah, that's been around for like 19 years.
I saw a TikTok ad for the last season of Grey's Anatomy, and
wait, it's the last season?
Wait, no, sorry, the next season. The next season.
Like, that's breaking news. It's been running for almost as long as you've been alive.
Oh my gosh. Everybody in the comments was like, there's more. like
what else could you possibly say about this show?
My favorite one was, isn't it time to wrap it up? Wrap it
They
up.
say that every year. They're like, okay, now it's time. Put it to bed. Lay it to rest.
Oh my gosh. So funny.
Somebody said last year, put it out of its misery.
Oh, is it in misery? I haven't watched it.
It's definitely gone downhill in the last couple seasons because they've been getting rid of Meredith Grey. So it's like,
the main character.
this is who we came here for. And now they have a bunch of interns out of nowhere that we're supposed to care about and we don't care about. And honestly, I'm not willing to watch another group of interns become actual surgeons. You already took me on that journey for like 12 years.
It's almost like at that point, which by the way, you introduced me to Grey's Anatomy.
Which you loved it.
And I loved it. And you were like the most passionate about it. So we're not hating on something that we didn't previously love.
No, but it's like, come on.
But yeah, it's almost like at this point, you have been working there because because when you're working somewhere, you see all the turnover, you meet the new people, you get invested, you say bye to the old people. It's almost like you worked there for 10 years.
Do you know how many surgeries I've done in the last 17 years?
You wouldn't believe some of the things that
I have gone through. Shootings. I have gone through buses crashing into people. I have gone through bombs in the hallway. It's not a safe environment to work in.
Yeah, we should have had like a trigger warning before you said all that stuff. It's really tough stuff in that stuff, but Miss Shonda Rhimes has put us through it. That's all I'm going to say.
And she won't put us out of it. And you know what's particularly annoying to me? They're canceling Station 19, which is stupid. Station 19.
You're really into these genres of did Shonda Rhimes write that one too? Or no?
I don't think she wrote it, but like it's a spin-off of Grey's Anatomy. It's like I don't know if it's a spin-off, but it's
firefighters instead of surgeons.
Yeah, but they have some of the same characters and they do crossover events all the time.
I like them because they're all so like progressive and queer friendly.
Yeah, Station 19 is better than Grey's Anatomy, hands down. That's why I'm upset because Station 19 is getting canceled. And it's only had 6 seasons. It's only going to have 7 seasons total. And Grey's Anatomy is going on to like season like 19 or something.
Oh my gosh.
It's like never ending.
So what's going good?
Well, nothing now. Can I also share like this conflict I have?
Yes.
So my conflict is they're canceling Station 19 because another similar show got better ratings, even though Station 19 won all these awards.
Okay.
So Station 19 and 911, they both have queer characters. They both have phenomenal storylines. They're both very progressive and forward thinking and amazing. So they decided they could only have one, I guess.
They're like, these are both emergency response shows. We can't have both.
But vastly different characters.
They're so different as shows.
Give us more of that content. What's wrong with you? Give us more queer characters we love. Anyway, so they're getting rid of it. And I'm like sitting here conflicted because I love 911, but I also love Station 19. And I feel like I did this. I feel like I'm responsible.
What? In what? This is ridiculous.
Because I watched 911.
Oh, you feel like you contributed to them cutting one because you invested
heavily in the other too. So had I known, I would have balanced it out more.
I'm sure lots of Station 19 fans feel the same way that you do. I'm sure of it.
This is the problem. Give us more content, not less. Give us more to choose from. Don't just say, well, you can only have one. And the rest is going to be vanilla content. I
think that's how the majority of people feel when they find something that they just love so much. Like, they're just like, give us more. No excuses. More.
Well, I'm just saying there's a bunch of like really boring heteronormative shows out there.
Like what?
I don't watch them.
Okay. You're just saying.
I only watch the interesting shows.
You're saying take the budget and take it from somebody else.
Yes, take it from somebody else. Don't take it from the minorities. That's what I'm saying.
I love that.
Anyway, how are you?
I'm doing well. I've got my little coffee. My little coffee I needed to survive.
Cheers, babe. Cheers. Why did I think of boil and toil and what is that? The Witches Brew song?
What?
Rachel, you'll know. You're listening.
My sister.
It's the
like
foil and toil and trouble.
What the?
It's like the thing
when they're like
when they're stirring the pot, the witch's cauldron. They're like,
in what move? What?
It's just a thing that is said. It's like common knowledge.
Sherell's a witch.
No, I'm not. I'm not Wiccan. You're gonna have my mom on here praying for me.
That's true. How do you know their secret song then?
Your parents are going to say, we listened to the latest episode and we have some thoughts after you said I was Wiccan.
If you're listening to this, Mom and Dad, thanks.
No shade to anybody's spiritual beliefs out there. However, our parents will be concerned if we are Wiccan.
We are Christian background, modern people of faith, would you say?
Modern?
Like
people?
modern
what does
as
that
in
mean?
we think that is totally approved that you and I are married, for example.
Well, that's just regular thinking. Well, you have to be delusional to think otherwise. There's literally a marriage license in our house.
Gay marriage became legalized in like when we were alive, so that's pretty modern to me.
I was there for it. Yeah, I know.
We were all there for it, which I'm thankful for. Because I love being married to you. Was your sister old
enough to... Oh, yeah.
She's only 3 years younger than me.
For some reason, I was like, she was 2. No, she wasn't.
I was 3 years old. I mean, some people were. Some people were babies.
They're not listening to this podcast.
Maybe they are. Maybe we're hip.
Hey, Gen Z. Wait, no, it's the little ones. It's the babies.
That's bussin'. Yeah.
What? What?
What's bussin'?
Bustin'?
Okay.
What is bustin'?
Bussin'.
What does that mean?
It's like, was like a trend a while ago. It's like, it's cool. I think that's what it means.
How would I know? I'm not cool.
Oh, anyway. Well, I'm not annoyed at anything this morning. I feel pretty good about things.
That's because you got a nice little I was gonna say nap, but you got a nice little 9-hour nap.
Yeah. 9-hour nap. That sounds like a good band name or something.
9-hour nap.
Or maybe like a blog name.
I feel like if it was a band, it'd be like metal.
9-hour nap. Yeah. And it would be like metal live stream for like 9 hours. They'd be like, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, because any other genre, you'd be like snooze alert.
I know. Something was called 9-hour nap, and it was like
classical
really
music.
Soft, acoustic, beautiful. Then it's like, oh, let me put this on before I go to sleep.
Or like
that would make sense.
Yeah, or even opera or pop or literally any other genre. You'd be like, I'm expected to fall asleep now. Anyway,
okay, this is random. We'll get into whatever the heck we're talking about. But sometimes when I go on my Apple Music and I'm like, I want to listen to a playlist that is jazz classic or like swing for dinner time or something like that, I type that in looking for a playlist to listen to, and sometimes somebody out there, you know who you are, musicians.
You know what you did.
Musicians make albums of their music, their jazzy time that they recorded, and they call the album like Jazz for Dinner or something.
I saw that the other day. I was like, how are you gonna call a song chill dinner music?
Because it's like they want to trick people into being like, maybe they don't want to trick people, but they want to
trick people. Like, it's like clickbait. It's their version of clickbait.
It's clickbait. Oh, it's so good though. I don't know.
Well, I didn't have such a nice, relaxing morning as you.
This is becoming very negative, Sherell.
I would just like to say that I woke up in a precarious position.
That was funny. Tell them.
I woke up and I think like I stayed awake till like 3 something, like cleaning the house because Megan is just really bossy and
Megan's really dirty.
She's horribly dirty and very demanding, and she told me that I couldn't go to bed until I cleaned the whole house. Where is this going?
You're not Cinderella over here. You chose this.
Anyway, blink twice if you need help. So I fell asleep at like 3 something, and then I had to set my alarm for like 7 to take care of Caius. Caius is our dog. He's sick, so I had to.
You said that very fast. We should talk about that.
It's sad. I don't dwell on it. It makes me sad.
Small update: our dog still has cancer. That's the update, and we're sad about it. Continue.
Yes. Okay, so I set an alarm for 7 to like take care of him, but I was like super tired, and I think I was in the middle of a REM cycle when my like alarm went off, and I woke up like sleeping on my stomach, my face like planted down face first in my pillow. My arm was like outstretched and my hand was propped up on the nightstand. And my fingers were on my phone like I had tried to like snooze my alarm.
You like woke up and then you went to turn it off and then you fell asleep.
I fell asleep again.
Oh my god.
So I just woke up in that position like 20 minutes after my alarm was supposed to go off.
Sherell falls asleep in the weirdest position. Like when you're really tired.
They're normal positions.
You just like you're the type of person that if you're really tired, you can fall asleep on a plane. I'm not that type of person. I don't even have to be
tired. I look forward to plane rides because I can fall asleep on them. It's like the best nap ever.
That's so wholesome. I don't know why that just is like so wholesome. But I remember one time you were like, oh, I'm gonna go watch TV in bed, and you were like half sitting up in bed with your phone in your hands watching your TV show, and then I walk in later and you're just like the phone is on your chest and you're fully asleep, fully
snoring. I don't think I snore.
You don't snore, but you do like a little I'm gonna try to
do it. It's okay.
It's a little like
that's a snore. I snore. This is news to me.
It's a nice little, like, it's when I can tell you're really deep in sleep, but it's not a snore. It's just like,
you just like that I make that noise because sometimes you're concerned that I'm not breathing.
Yeah. And it's like you're like a little dragon. It's really cute. You're like so deep in sleep. Yeah. Anyway, I got great sleep and Sherell got very little sleep.
That's okay. I'm gonna take a nap later. A 9-hour nap.
9-hour nap.
Well, I'm glad we're good today. Yesterday was freaking terrible.
Yeah.
Megan and I got into an argument yesterday that pretty much lasted all day, and it was exhausting.
And the night before.
Yes.
So yeah, we wanted to talk about
and
it.
Neither of us are PMSing, so don't even think we are.
That does affect things sometimes, but no, we're both no PMSing. So
nope.
I don't even know where to begin.
Well, that's what we wanted to talk about today, was like, how do you reconnect after an argument?
Yeah.
With your
we wanted to ask,
person.
How do you reconnect? How do we
That's
fix
really
this?
why we did this episode. We just need help. No, we've learned a few tricks along the journey.
Tips and tricks.
Gross. I hate tips and tricks. I will never call a video anything tips and tricks.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Sorry, what were you saying?
And if you suggest any videos that say tips and tricks, I'm going to take off my shoe and whack you in the head. It's like the most... I'm going to say something offensive.
Oh, come on.
It's just like, as a black person, there are certain things that are just so annoyingly nerdy and white that I just... it's like I just cringe. Tips and tricks is one of those things.
Okay.
Like somebody thought, this is so clever. I just want to be like...
I've clearly hit a nerve.
Yeah, you have.
What were you saying though? I want to get in.
I said we learned some lessons along the way to help us reconnect, and we wanted to share them with you because we're putting them into practice today because we argued all day yesterday.
Yes. Well, one of the first things, and we both wrote down some notes because I'm the type of person that I like to process things with pen and paper. So took some notes, and one of the things I was thinking was when we do have arguments or tension, like I've become better at recognizing, hey, I'm feeling upset about this and this, or confused about this, and it might rub you the wrong way. But I also recognize that this and this and this are going on in our lives, like right now. I think that's one of the things that came to mind, is acknowledging our external circumstances, because like our dog is extremely sick right now. And although like he's acting okay and he's on medication, like we are in a slow, weird process of grieving him.
Yeah, like he's probably not going to get better.
Yeah.
Today is as good as he's going to feel, basically.
Yeah, every day is a gift. But yeah, so just like that, plus, I have not been getting sleep this week. Yeah, I've been exhausted. So that's just one of the things that came to my mind of things that I've learned from us processing conflicts and stuff, is like not fully trusting my feelings of I'm upset about this, but being like, I'm upset about this, but I also know all this other stuff is going on. So just laying it all out there.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to acknowledge. I would say, adding on to that, it's good to acknowledge like what's happening in your body, which is kind of what you said. But like for me, I'm injured. And so like I went from being a person who works out twice a day and has a lot of like sense of independence. Like I would go on these like long 1.5 hour hikes with Kaius just by myself, you know? So I went from being that person and being independent and running my own groceries and doing all this stuff to having a major injury on my foot that limits my mobility and has been for months. So for me, it's like, I don't know, like I'm more in a bad mood. I'm more easily in a bad mood. And when I'm tired, I'm extra tired. There's a lot more going on than just whatever situation is annoying us or whatever, you know?
Yeah, I totally get that. I do like empathize with that. Like, I want you to feel like totally empowered all the time and autonomous, but I do look at you and I'm like, I feel so bad for you. Like, it just sucks. Like, a lot of things suck right now.
I feel so bad for you. Like, must suck
to be you.
Sucks to be you. No, and the hard thing for me is like I always know that somebody has it worse, but I also intuitively know we're not supposed to compare pain. So my sucks for me.
Yeah. And especially like if somebody else were to come to you and they were also injured, like they would want to know that you validate your own experience and your own pain, because it's like their pain is real too. Everybody's pain is real. Emotional, physical. Yeah. I had a friend who tried to cheer me up on a low day, and he basically just said, you think that's bad, here's this that happened to me. And it was like, that's not how we empathize, you know. We don't compare pain, we don't compare hurt or trauma. Anyway, so yeah, just acknowledging, I like that, acknowledging that there's a lot more going on. Yeah. I do feel like it used to take me a while to get there, which is baffling to me, but we've been together for 5 years, almost, something like that.
I think
we've been married for almost 3 years, which is crazy.
It's gonna be 5 years that we've been together.
Yeah. So like in the beginning, I remember feeling so many emotions when it was like, you hurt my feelings and you're saying that I hurt your feelings and blah, blah, blah. And then like at the end of a conflict, like when we're both exhausted, we're both drained, we're like, maybe we just need some space, or I don't know. It was like, oh wait, I got 3 hours of sleep, and like it's just like, oh, that might have made it worse. So
yeah. One of the things I wrote down is like, apologize for your part and humble yourself, which is not something that I'm good at or enjoy at all. I am the type of person, and I think Black women in general, a lot of us are like this, where we want to be right and we want to be justified. I walk through the world with the world misunderstanding me a lot, but in my body I feel so much power. And so for me, in an argument with you, I have this desire to be right and to be justified, you know, to prove to you why I'm right, to prove to you why I'm, whatever happened, like, was justified. And I struggle with humbling myself and owning my part and admitting, yeah, I fucked up, like that was on me or whatever, or maybe I was too dramatic or I overreacted, or I chose to keep hearing you differently even though you pivoted, you know.
I struggle with that too, and I appreciate when you, like, a lot of times lately I feel like you've gone first in that, of like later on when we've taken a little bit of space and we've like kind of resolved things, but there's still like need some room for healing. I just think that you've been really good at being like, I'm sorry for my part, and I'm like, me too. So I appreciate that. I know I need to get a lot better at, like, how do I want to say it?
Whoa, say what?
I need to get better at, when you're telling me how you feel, I feel like the most that I feel like I can show up is, I hear what you're saying, I understand what you're saying, but probably one step further would be the active listening thing of like, okay, so you're telling me that you feel this way. Is that true? And I heard somewhere on a podcast, it's like, of course, it's like acknowledging what they're saying and then asking them to confirm if that is indeed what they're feeling. And I'm like, it just, like, my ego gets in the way. So I'm like, okay,
I see it too.
And the other thing is, I'm hearing everything that you're saying, And so I'm like, that's stupid of me to just repeat what she's saying. Like, I don't, it's just, so, I'm like, it feels too, like giving of my ego, but I want to try to get better at that.
Aw. I know
So
that's
I'll be
hard.
like, I am understanding what you're saying.
You're like,
I see how you could be feeling what you're feeling.
I think you're doing a good job of doing that, practicing it.
Like you and I are stretching ourselves. I noticed that like yesterday I was sitting down and I sat down because when we're talking sometimes you don't like when I'm like standing and you're sitting, and so I like sat down and
that's not why. It's because you used to just get out of the room and go do something else while I was talking to you. You used to just get up and leave. Like, what the hell?
Sometimes
you don't have to go into it again. I'm just saying, it's not that I have a concern of you standing. It's that in the past, you've just gotten up and left.
Sometimes it takes so long just to get somewhere. Like it could take, and I heard somewhere that like if you don't get through an argument in 15 minutes, you should just take some space and then try again later. And I'm like,
yeah, but you hear all these things on podcasts and then you decide that in your head and you do share it.
Well, I also struggle with patience. So I think I decided, that's something else I wrote down was like having just like a deep patience of like, okay, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to listen to how you're feeling. I'm going to say how I'm feeling. We're going to sit in silence for 5 minutes while we're figuring out what.
That's very like calculated.
Huh?
That's very calculated.
I'm not thinking of it that way.
You're like, okay.
No, I don't have a plan. I'm just thinking of it in terms of what has happened in the past couple days.
Got it. So your point is be patient. Like you're learning to be patient.
Yeah, this is not easy to talk about.
No, it's very vulnerable. Okay, well, can I share one of my points?
Please.
One of my points to like reconnect with your person after an argument is to do something mentally easy together.
I like that.
Of course you do.
Well, it sounds really accurate, I guess.
Well, it's just like, I don't know if all relationships are like this, but in our relationship, we can talk for a long time. To your point that things shouldn't last for longer than 15 minutes. Sometimes when it doesn't matter, like if we have space and then we come back to it, like it's just draining and it's mentally hard. It's mentally hard to sit there and try to empathize and listen to somebody. And it's hard checking your own emotions and your own frustrations and trying to communicate in a fair way. So it's mentally draining. So I think doing something easy, like, I don't know, like switching locations or switching what you're doing, like watch a TV show together, or, although for me, a TV show, like my brain is still spinning. But just like do something, like, I don't know, for us, we play with the dogs, you know?
Yeah, sometimes before we do something together, I need like a little space by myself. And a therapist told me this one time a while ago. I like was seeing a therapist just for a little bit, and it was mostly to do with like relationship stuff, just because I feel like people don't talk about it a lot, like dealing with your own emotions, and like, I don't know, I just needed to figure out how to be better in communication and how to, I don't know, it just like would tell her, oh, this happened, and then she would help me through what I was feeling. But one of the things she said is like, when you're feeling those heightened emotions, and she was saying this to me, when you're feeling those heightened emotions and you don't know what to do with them, or you feel really angry, just like go scroll on Instagram or go watch like a YouTube video, something that would just like kind of snap your brain just a little bit back into something not so intense. So sometimes I need to do that even before we come together and try to do something together. But I I agree with, like, we're not just going to sit down again and be like, okay, let's press play again on this thing. We'll try to kind of ease into it of, oh, you're making lunch for yourself. What are you having? Like, I don't know.
And it takes time. It's like if your relationship is hurt, and this is under the preface that like our relationship is more than strong enough to handle like all of the things. So I don't think our relationship is weak, but I think that when we argue, we hurt each other. You know, like it hurts. It's not like we're throwing daggers at each other or anything like that. It just hurts. It hurts to feel disconnected from your person. And it hurts when they're saying things or you're saying things that like that make you feel that disconnect or misunderstanding. So
Can I have a kiss?
Sure.
Thank
Do
you.
I have your makeup on my face?
No.
So if your relationship is hurt, it's gonna take a minute to heal. Like it's gonna take a moment to heal it, and you have to ease into it. You can't just act like nothing happened, you know.
Yeah.
And you can to some extent. Like there is a lot of like grace and forgiveness that happens in our marriage where we're like, well, whatever, like we're gonna move on. This is like you're it for life. So if I hold on to this, it's gonna be a very long marriage. So.
Yeah. Something else I was randomly thinking about was that I feel like very often I say, I don't really know what to say right now, or I don't know what I'm feeling exactly. And I realized that that's kind of a small thing, but also really huge in terms of like, I want to like reconnect with you during or after an argument. I like want to reconnect with you, but I don't know how. And so I just think like, I don't know, I've kind of learned over the years to just say that and be honest instead of trying to be like, well, I think it's this or I think it's that. Like sometimes you just don't know. That's okay.
Yeah. I like the just be honest thing because I grew up thinking that you just tell people what they want to hear, and that's how you get out of conflict. That's how you move on from conflict, but that's not how an emotionally intelligent or mature person handles healing from conflict. You know, being honest about the awkward, being honest about what your needs are after an argument helps you heal and get what you need. You know, your partner can't read your mind, and so if you're lying, they're not going to just intuit what you need.
I resonate with that because I used to be very conflict averse, and I mean, nobody likes conflict. But because of you, honestly, like being with you, I've learned that it's kind of like in Finding Nemo, and it's like, can't we just go over that deep, scary thing? Can't we just go around it? And then it's like, no, we have to go through it, not over it. And then they don't do that anyway. But I've just learned like, have to be honest, like even if it sucks, even if it comes out wrong, even if it sounds hurtful, I just don't know what to do with it. Like I have to be honest, have to go through it. And then that's like the most healing thing, because then, I don't know, just everything's out on the table. And I don't know, if it's not honest, then it's just skirting around something it's going to like come up later, you know?
And it always does. You can't sweep things under the carpet, you know? I think that's one of my biggest fears is, I think it's the way that I grew up. Like in my family, we just didn't talk about things until things were explosive, you know? Like there weren't really like emotionally intelligent, compassionate conversations happening along the way. It was just sweep everything under the rug until there's an explosive moment. And so for me, my fear is that you and I would sweep things under the rug until later when there's so much under the rug that we can't walk through our house anymore. You know, like it's monstrous and scary and unmanageable at that point.
Oh.
So.
Well, I don't try to hold things in too much, but I will say sometimes I wait a little bit to try to figure out what the heck I'm feeling about something. And also like I'm almost like trying to look at myself from an outside perspective of, do I think this is a valid fear or feeling, or is it just like gonna go away? So yeah, like sometimes I'm not like being dishonest, but I'm just kind of assessing myself, so I'm not bringing you something that's like, I don't know, invalid, if that makes sense.
No, it does. And I think it is completely valid to take space and time to process how you feel after all of that.
Yeah.
Like, I can't be inauthentic after an argument. And for better or for worse, I'm going to say, I don't feel close to you right now, or I need this, or I need that, because that's just a survival skill that I have developed.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, I thought of something pretty clever.
I could hear you thinking out loud a little bit before this, so I'm curious to see.
I came up with something.
Okay, let's hear it.
I should be a public speaker.
You should be. That's one of your gifts.
Well, I like public speaking, but I just like this because it's like little and clever.
Okay, let's hear it.
So I came up with the 3 C's of connection. Or the 3 C's of connecting after an argument.
Sure.
So you need to like reestablish confidence, which means I believe the best in you. Because when you're fighting, I don't know if everybody fears this, but one of the things that I fear is that my partner no longer believes in me. Like, she doesn't believe the best in me anymore. So when I don't know, there's always these moments after an argument, or the tail end of it, or the next day, or you kind of do it at lots of different points, but you just remind me that you believe in me, and you believe that I'm good, and you believe the best in me.
Yeah, like almost a reparative, like repairing back to what it normally is and should be. Like,
yeah.
Like, hey, even though I feel hurt in this way, or I'm like, what's going on in your head? Like, oh, by the way, I still like have confidence in you. Like, I have confidence in us. And
yeah, it's like I didn't lose standing with you because we had one fight.
I like that. I like it a lot.
And it's also no, and another thing I'll say about it is believing in, like, when you believe the best in somebody, it means like, I believe that when Megan and I fight, she didn't intend to hurt me. I believe the best in her. She might have hurt me, but I know she didn't intend to. So I believe that at the end all be all, she had good intentions, even if I got hurt in an argument or whatever.
I appreciate that. It's very like, you have grace for me and I have grace for you, because sometimes you say things in a heated moment and I'm like, she didn't really mean that, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just
like, it'd be a very hard marriage if we had to keep establishing like trust, like every day you had to convince me that you're trustworthy and that you love me, you know? It's like, I came here with the premise that you are trustworthy. That's why I married you. So
I like that. So confidence. Yes.
So confidence, reestablish confidence. The next thing is reestablish clarity, which means I see you. So it's like, I don't just believe the best in you, but like, I know you. I see you. I understand you.
I remember, I don't know when you started doing this or if you've always done this, but I remember like sometimes near the end of like just trying to reconnect, you'll say like, remember, like, it's me.
It's me.
Like, it's me. So, I mean, that's kind of the gist of it. Like, I don't know. Sometimes we get so in our feelings that it's like, remember, like, I'm the one that like proposed to you. Yes. I'm the one that cuddles up to you when you're sick. Like, you know, I don't know. So
yeah. And for me, it's like, when you see me, and when you literally tell me at the end of every argument we have, you say, I see you. And for me, that means You see me, you've known my journey. You are very intimately aware with all of my struggles and insecurities. And even if you have misunderstood me in a moment, you understand me in the grand scheme of things, you know?
Aww. That feels good. It's true.
See what I said? These are good. That's what I said. Okay, the last one.
Get back to like express confidence, express clarity.
Well, reestablish, but yes.
Okay.
And then the last one I would say is reestablish closeness. Like you need to spend time touching each other, which sounds so dirty.
Whoa.
No, but you do. Like you need to spend time. Like we swing dance.
We did some swing dancing in the living room.
Yeah.
Well, I tried.
I mean, I'm kind of limited, but I tried.
Yeah.
So we did like some swing dancing and it was totally organic. It wasn't planned, but like we danced in the living room together to some fun jazzy music and we just spent extra time like hugging each other randomly. We have sex. Like we just reestablish closeness because when you are in an argument or fight with your person, it's like it could go one of two ways. You can either choose to lean in and get closer again, or you can just like let the break get worse, you know?
Sometimes I've noticed for you, like I am the type of person that I feel like I was saying that a lot. I'm the type of person.
We know what type of person you are, Megan.
But my tendency is to be a lot when I feel insecure, when I feel like we're not quite there yet. So I will want to hug you. I want to kiss you. I'll just want that reassurance. But like, I think I need to be more grounded in myself. And so when we're in that in-between time of like trying to reconnect, I'll be more conscious of, can I give you a hug? Can I like kiss you? Stuff like that, because I want to reconnect, but I also don't want you to feel like I'm, I don't know, forcing it. Like we still need
to brush over everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I am the type of person. No, I'm saying it. I'm the type of person that if we are in an argument, I don't want you touching me. You know, that comes from a trauma background, and that just comes from like I run hot when I'm mad. And I have really, really deep feelings, and I don't want to be touched by the person that is making me mad when I'm mad. Like, you stay over there because I'm not giving you anything right now.
That's fair. Wait, was that the third one?
Yeah.
Wait, okay, so say them again.
Reestablish confidence, clarity, and closeness.
Oh,
that's 3 C's of connection.
That should be a book or something.
Hey, copyright.
I love it, baby.
Thank you. It's okay to like have fun together. Don't take it so seriously. Like in the grand scheme of your relationship, one argument is just like a moment.
Yeah, a moment's time.
It is. So let it go. Get over yourself, honestly.
That's how you're feeling like at the end of this thing. But in the middle, it's like...
I can tell past me, get over yourself. And that's part of why I get so mad in an argument. Is because I can hear myself say, get over yourself, Sherell. And I'm like getting even more defensive.
You know what I can hear from myself? It's kind of the conscience in the back of my mind is... You need to show her that you understand what she's feeling. But it's like we can hold our fists so
like,
tightly.
It's like a little toddler throwing a whole fit. Yeah. So get over yourself.
Yeah. We all just want to be understood. We all just want to be right. Eventually we get there and we get over ourselves in little ways. And I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm also proud of us because I don't want to be the couple that never fights.
Yeah, that would be a red flag if we never fought about anything ever.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if I've seen a couple that never fights. I've seen a couple that gets along a lot, and it weirded me out. Like, it seemed like they never fought, but I know that they did.
Yeah.
But like, I want to be a couple because it's like, we are artists, we are women, like, we're emotionally intelligent human beings, and so we have really, really deep emotions, really, really big feelings, and we want to be understood. And I think it's healthy to fight, but in your fighting, don't hit below the belt. You know, don't like try to hurt that person.
Yeah.
And then do what this whole thing is about, which is like connect after, because that's your person, you know?
Yeah. I feel like it's therapeutic to talk through all of this stuff, especially since, like, no offense, love you fam, but I do come from a family where it's like things that could be conflict kind of just live underneath the surface. So it's like a lot of us probably don't see a healthy argument, conflict resolution. Yeah. I think that's just a skill that is continuing to grow.
I know. I feel like if I love my parents and they've been together for a very long time, I think they both just keep forgiving each other. But the way that they like have their conflicts, I'm like, y'all didn't hide your fights.
Like, they were all out in the open.
They were out in the open, but it was just like these explosive moments, and we saw the fights, but we didn't see the reconnection afterwards.
Oh.
And so
they do that part in private.
Well, I don't want to see that type. I don't want to see. I don't need to see all
Too
that.
affectionate.
But just like I don't know. I feel like if I want our kids in the future to see us fight and also see us reconnect.
I do think, I think there's a deepness to some of our arguments that, I don't know, it's just adult stuff sometimes. So
you don't want to hand it to your kid.
No, but I don't know. We probably wouldn't be like, we would want to set a good example of conflict resolution. Like,
well, can I rephrase what I said?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that what we call it fighting, but I think the more accurate term is arguing.
Yes.
Like, we don't bicker anymore. Not really. Like, not seriously. And we don't fight. Like, we don't raise our voices and shout at each other anymore. We dropped that like better at that a year or two ago.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And
so when we have kids, I never want our kids to ever hear us raise our voices at them unless it's like an emergency situation.
Yeah, like, get out of the house, it's on fire.
Yeah. Or we're like laughing and it's a joy-filled situation.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Thanks for talking with me about all of this.
Thanks for reconnecting with me.
You're welcome. Looking forward to continuing to reconnect.
Let's turn these cameras off so we can connect some more.
Aw. Do you want to leave our people with something? A benediction?
Oh, la benediction. Yeah.
I love when you do this.
Well, I don't have anything off the top of my head, so let me think.
By the way, we say this every episode, but we really do want to hear what you guys think, and we really appreciate, obviously, reviews, 5 stars, of course.
Of course. Don't leave anything otherwise.
It really helps our little community grow, but also just like leaving a comment on the YouTube video, leaving a comment on the Spotify question and answer. I think we're pretty good at checking that. But yeah, we just want to like connect with you guys and give you shout outs and all of that good stuff. So
speaking of, shout out to Shauna B on our YouTube community.
Yeah.
You have been bringing us so much joy.
So much joy. Literally, we'll like sit down, we'll see a YouTube notification. I'll be like, it's Shauna B. Oh my gosh, with the hilarious comments.
You bring us so much joy. Thanks for getting us. We appreciate
you get us. So yeah, what are we going to say?
Well, so something I've been learning lately, especially we're in a season of our life that is stressful and sad. With our dog being sick, like, let me just open up a minute. Caius has been with me since he was 2 years old. He's like 8.5, 9 now. And we learned to heal together. He had trauma. I had trauma. We healed together. I'm bonded with him in a way that I haven't bonded with any other animal ever in my life. And I've been surrounded by animals my whole life. He's an extremely special dog. He was actually registered as my emotional support animal for a few years. When I would have a panic attack, he would come up to me, put his paw on me, and I would like sink to the floor, and he would like just put his head against my forehead and just sit there with me while I would just hold on to him and I'd get out of the panic attack. So we've grown up together. We've healed together. We have both learned how to embrace safety and healing and family all together. Like, we met Megan at the same time. So Caius has been there for all of our moments. And to lose him slowly over a period of months hurts. And I wouldn't wish it on anybody. On top of that, I'm injured. On top of that, just practically, there's just some really stressful things happening for us right now. So we've been spending every day trying to embrace peace, trying to create peace in our home, trying to communicate extra well together. And in that, I actually reached out to your mom the other day, and she sent me this verse. And if you guys aren't Christians, like, if this triggers you, you can stop listening right now. But it just meant a lot to me because I grew up in the church. And just this reminder from my childhood, in a way, was just amazing. It was this verse that said, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to comfort and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future." And that meant so much to me because I don't have a lot of people speaking into my life in that spiritual way right now. Like, I have a few people that I allow to do that. So for your mom to send me a verse that resonated with like me from childhood, like that's something that I clung to as a child when I was in the closet, terrified of if I was ever even going to live long enough to have a hope in a future. Like, it just reminded me that God, the universe, Jesus, whoever you want to call them, like, they got me through everything up to this point. And I'll be okay after this. Like, I'm gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this. So yeah, if you are struggling right now, if you can't take the verse, take the sentiment. There's a plan for your life. There's a hope in a future for you, even if it looks bleak right now. Even if this moment is hard. Even if you're catching your breath right now. You're gonna be okay. And you're not alone in it. So,
collective deep breath.
Take a breath.
Oh,
take a break. Sorry. I have a Hamilton soundtrack always on my mind.
I love that. It's a staple in our house. Thank you, baby. That means a lot. Yeah, just settling into that peace of there's a plan for me, there's a plan for us, and there's hope and there's goodness in the world. So
yeah,
I love you very much.
I love you too.
Thanks for tuning in. We love you guys, and we will see you next week at our place.